We've got plenty of them. You can see them in the background. 0% this month for finance. Got great cash offers. Come and check them out right here in Boonville at Murphy Brothers. Get your new Mahindra 4500 series from Mahindra today at Murphy Brothers.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather This Morning.
Well, good morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lompon. You're watching Mississippi Live Weather This Morning as of 7:02 a.m. running on Lompon Standard Time here, a minute or so late. Appreciate y'all for watching us on this dreary, drizzly, breezy, cool Wednesday morning. We're going to make it through this midweek together. And to do that, you're going to need to make sure to bundle up. Before we get launched in on the weather here, again, the big weather stories we're watching the tropics. Yesterday was the arrival of Melissa as one of the strongest Category 5 storms on record for the Atlantic Basin, making landfall there in Jamaica. That system has now moved through Cuba overnight, and the combined death toll, unfortunately, from this system has risen now to 7 people between Jamaica, Cuba, and the rest of the Caribbean. Now, you'll notice it does not look nearly as impressive as it did 24 hours ago. Latest official update from the National Hurricane Center at 5 a.m. Eastern was at 115 miles per hour on this. But as you could see over the last 2 hours there, this has weakened substantially. It is expected to make its way out into the locations in the Bahamas, which you can kind of see just north there. I have this on the highest resolution data, so you'll see it does cut off the satellite data at the edges there, but it's going to move over top Bahamas, eventually move in the direction of Bermuda. More on that coming up here in a few minutes. Melissa, again, the big weather story across the entire region, and it remains still strong and unfortunately deadly. Breezy and rainy conditions for most of us, the headline for today. Did I mention cooler as well? We'll actually break out the wind chill graphic here in a minute. And even colder weather is ahead with low temperatures expected to be in the 30s later this week. Whew. It's definitely going to be feeling pretty cool. Not that today is warm by any stretch of the imagination. And good morning to all the folks out there tuning in here at this point. Coming in again with low 50s out there for temperatures at 8 a.m. We're mid 50s, we'll say, by late this morning, depending on if you can see more breaks in the rainfall. And we're kind of at a zone right now where we have some drier air moving in. If we can keep that around longer, maybe a little bit bigger boost in temperatures. But hey, when you factor in winds are going to be breezy, wind advisories in effect, it is not going to be a warm day for today as we continue to have those breezy winds shifting more of a northerly direction as this cold core system settles in overhead. Looking at those wind chill temperatures as of right now, coming in the upper 40s, we show Bruce, Water Valley, coming in 43 for what it feels like there in Oxford. We were checking that Oxford number a moment ago, and we'll actually take a look there in Oxford here in just a moment as we look at Mississippi Live Weather Radar and the latest scans on that. As you can see, just most of what we see here is lighter variety, sort of kind of drizzle. I'm going to put in kind of all of our returns on this for a moment. And you'll notice it even kind of has the black on there. So let's go ahead and sculpt that off here for a second. A lot of what you see here are clear air returns as we put this loop on there last 3 hours, showing the progression of this over that point in time there. You'll note that we do have, again, the drier air that sort of moved in, but still have a little bit of drizzle out there. So if you're looking for clean windshields, that's not what we have even after some of the showers have moved out. Bring it back to now and then taking this and showing a 1 hour loop here on Mississippi Live Weather Radar. You see more moderate rainfall, still showing that up for you in Iuka. Good morning in Burnsville, Tishmingo, Belmont, Iuka. Still some rainfall out there along 72, even for Red Bay as well. That's starting to exit. Most of what we see here is light to moderate rainfall at the absolute most as that kind of slides away from us. Check out some of our cameras here with the North Mississippi storm chasers. And again, things are drier back for locations out in the Mississippi Delta as we kind of head back out there toward around Crenshaw. Plenty of raindrops on the camera there. 50 degrees the temperature at this time. And locations around Senatobia, pretty similar look to that. Those winds out of the west and southwest, you could see up around 11 miles per hour or so. Still fairly breezy there in Batesville. Looking toward the roads, again, glossy. That always extends the stopping distance. So expect it, again, with the wet roads to from time to time cause some issues out there. Coming back to Tupelo, which you could kind of see below that beginning graphic sort of there. Raindrops on the camera lens. I'm going to look out the window here at the house, which is always kind of a good opportunity. Looks like pretty good visibility. We don't have the issues related to some of the patchy fog that we had yesterday morning out there, despite the fact that we have some showers still continuing to show up there. So I show the wind chills for a moment. Let's actually go ahead and, before we go too far there, show the exiting rainfall out here in Monroe County, though a little bit of that residual rainfall in Amory. Let's check the camera there in Amory for a moment if we could. And that one showing up with a little bit of moisture still at this time. Wait for that to load in here. Still has that mistiness, and at least the direction we're looking at of this. Let's check that out for a second. Kind of looking in a kind of a southeast direction. You can see the raindrops kind of falling in front of the camera lens. Appreciate the North Mississippi Storm Chasers again for allowing us to utilize this camera network that's going to prove invaluable. Just incredible value related to this during severe weather. They're a 501c3 if you wish to kind of support their mission to put cameras around the state. Certainly, we support that. And it's going to be life-saving going into storm season as things get more active. Actual temperatures, a couple degrees warmer than those wind chill temperatures. Low 50s, though, not exactly warm by any stretch of the imagination. So the rainfall, at least this initial wave, exiting, but what you see behind it are more rain bits kind of moving in from the north and west, filling in. This is mainly light rainfall, but it will move in and make sure the dots remain on the windshield through pickup time for the kids later on as we go toward this afternoon. Looking at futurecast on kind of a wider scale, continuing again to wrap around moisture associated with this storm system as we go into and through the daytime period. 9 a.m. there also showing up. But look at all these lines and all the dots back to the north and west. There are wind advisories in effect for locations back out in the Mississippi Delta, down toward close to the Jackson area, because wind gusts could be 35 miles per hour more for those spots. I think that's going to be less of an issue for the northeast part of the state, but certainly as we draw in wind to this upper level system, we'll continue to have breezy conditions. We'll continue to have, again, that rainfall around that's going to limit the increase in temperatures. And the combination, if you're looking for kind of a, I see it right there, Brenda on YouTube mentioning burr. It is kind of a burr sort of day as we're wrapping up October on a cool note that will extend into your Halloween forecast as well. Still some sprinkles around by the time folks head out to church this evening, even by the time they come back. But this system largely moving to the north and east of us as we progress into this evening. So that forecast over the next 24, we'll continue to have those showers around through the day, mainly light, no severe weather out of this, no rumbles even, and not even a lot of consistent moderate rainfall. But I think it's going to be nuisance rainfall, adding up in some cases to maybe a quarter inch or more if you're lucky. And then it's all out of here by tomorrow morning. And we're mid 40s out there for low temperatures tomorrow morning. Look at that northwest wind, still 11 miles per hour. That means we're 30s for wind chills. I would say it's about time. We typically have our first freeze by around Halloween. And while we're going to be in the 30s, and while we're, I guess, going to be within striking distance, we're probably talking more frost than freeze. No official freeze or frost advisories out for later this week yet, but we're going to be pretty close to that threshold. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll look into more detail at that. From the Room to Room Weather Center, as Mississippi Live Weather continues here on this dreary, cool Wednesday morning, right after this.
Visualize perfection. Freshly picked ingredients, tantalizing flavors, sweet and sour intertwine, and dance into your glass. One-of-a-kind arrangements, hitting every note. Why wait for the weekend? It's on at the grill.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
I know you're going through a lot. wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's Mississippi's Chief Meteorologist, Matt Lovehon.
Down in Kosciuszko this morning, we're saying good morning to you in Atala County from all of us here at Mississippi Live Weather. 50 degrees current temperature at this time on what are cloudy and dreary and going to be off and on drizzly sort of conditions. Hey, and good morning to you as well back in Greenville. And again, the clouds are widespread, but I have decent visibility. Temperature 52 and those winds picking up. You are under one of those wind advisories for today where wind gusts could exceed 30 to 35 miles per hour. It is going to be a breezy to arguably windy day, and we anticipate that a lot of folks are going to probably have to prep for that as we go throughout. Looking here at the latest for locations around Macon, again, cloudy and dreary as well. The showers have largely exited into Alabama for now, but we expect them to fill out with a bit more. Looks like travel along the US 45 there in pretty good shape. And as we look back there northwest of Adenton, closer, let's see if we can get Mabin to pop in here. Looks like I have Adenton still on that, so I'm going to have to force Mabin a little later on this broadcast so we can get that up and going. We are looking at conditions that are still kind of drizzly and dreary. I mentioned Mabin because that's there close to Webster County. Our Mississippi Live Game of the Week is going to be there from the Webster County area, East Webster and Eupora. Obviously, big game there. We are expecting pregame conditions to be in the 50s for that one, maybe mid-50s on what should be at least partly sunny to mostly sunny skies. We're dry, but look at that. By the final snap, we're in the upper 40s. I keep making fun of our Gabe Maynor, who's coming out to these games with me because he never really bundles up enough. Man, you got to work for it this week. It is going to be rather chilly. I don't think he's going to be able to pull off shorts. Certainly, I'm going to work on him to not do that. Because it is going to be rather chilly. And so keep that in mind for the trick-or-treating forecast for the kids, because clearly there are going to be some cool temperatures there by the conclusion of trick-or-treating. So, I mean, come on, when we're talking low 50s out there, it is going to feel downright chilly for the kiddos. So make sure to layer them up, and we'll be in pretty good shape as far as that is concerned. Checking this morning here, looking at travel conditions across the lower 48 of the United States. There are obviously the rainfall issues depending on, if you're doing some ground travel. Airport travel, we're all in the green there. Again, appreciate Cyber Shield Security Solutions for sponsoring us here on Mississippi Live Weather. Most of the rainfall up there north of Memphis. Not a lot of lightning with this, no severe weather, and thankfully that has kept us from having really any airport delays as far as this morning is concerned. As you'll note here, Futurecast continue to keep most of the heavier rainfall up there north of Bowling Green. As we bring it in a little bit closer here, wrapping back around these moderate showers as we go throughout this morning. Notice by around 11 a.m. to noontime, fairly widespread showers around. You'll see our L, by the way, move here on our graphic here in a minute. This is a cold core system aloft, and it's gradually shifting more to the east. As a result, wrapping in breezier conditions. You'll also note the number of those arrows increasing as we progress throughout the day here. So becoming breezier back for locations. Shelby, Clarksdale, Cleveland could have some wind gusts in Greenville, Hollandale, up there in excess of 30 miles per hour or so. So it will be breezy, especially in the Delta. Still breezy in North Mississippi, just shaving off a little bit more because of the number of trees we have. The friction causes the wind speeds to be less impressive there. But isolated showers, the fairly widespread light rainfall continues into this afternoon and into the early evening as well, as that low pressure center shifts more back to the east. So looking at highs for today, we typically should be 71. Yeah, so we are way below that. 51 instead, Eupora, 55 for Bruce, Houston, as well as Tupelo and New Albany coming in about 54. We're looking at 52 in Grenada, Senatobia 53, and South Haven about 54 degrees for today, with wind chill not officially a factor unless you're upper 40s. So for a lot of us, not officially a factor, but it will feel chilly when you take a wind advisory and you have the temperatures we have today, it's not going to be not going to be a warm feeling day at all. And then some sporadic sprinkles continue as we head into the overnight hours. And I think because of the widespread cloud cover we keep around, that is the reason why we're mid 40s for tomorrow morning under what should be mostly dry conditions. You know, I think we'll have a wind chill that's probably in the upper 30s. I'll try to see if we can dig up that wind chill forecast for our 7:30 broadcast, looking toward early Thursday morning. I think probably more important than even the actual temperature forecast. It will be kind of a chilly beginning to the day there. And then as we progress, in fact, I have that wind chill forecast right there. Hold on. Let's go back. Give me a second. I will unfloat that. Let's see here. This should be, now, see, we had an issue there where what I would call 0Z data from last night didn't, we got an upgrade to our system, and so that data did not populate in here. Let's see if I can force these this model data here to pull the latest setting. Boy, that might have to be a tomorrow thing, as it looks like it's gonna we have new model data that we're gonna be able to show every day, but it looks like it knocked out my wind chill and my model data for day 2 for tomorrow. That's fine. Either way, those wind chills not going to be around 40. They will be 30s for what it feels like for early tomorrow morning. Okay, let's pick this back up. Again, looking at Futurecast there. Some sprinkles on Thursday, but those largely exiting as we progress throughout the day there. We'll give this rainfall here a third try, and I'll try not to fat finger it and go past the graphic before we actually talk about it here. There is the clearing. And again, it will still have some gusty winds on Thursday, and it'll still have a chill to it. I think as far as wind chills are concerned, we're still probably feeling like at least the low 40s through around midday on Thursday before we're back into the 50s, and then we have drier conditions that settle in behind that as we progress throughout your Thursday. Thursday's high temperature expected to be somewhere in the neighborhood of the upper 50s to maybe low 60s. That's still over 10 degrees below what we typically expect for this time of the year, and that wind will remain fairly chilly for the day. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast here. If you're looking for the warmer end of fall, that is not this forecast really at all. I mean, it'll probably be the first part of next week before we have temperatures that are closer to what we typically expect for this time of year in the upper 60s by then. So we will eventually get there. But for now, lower 70s where we should be as far as our normal high is concerned, and we're not going to be there for the rest of this week. And yeah, those 30s for Friday morning, that could lead to some frost out there. I mean, we'll talk about you for Corinth or up Blue Mountain, possibly as far south. Really be pushing it if we said Boonville, but I think South Haven, a possibility there as well to have maybe a little bit of frost for early morning on Friday, maybe even Saturday. So we'll see. Some very sensitive folks might have some issues there. I don't think it's a damaging frost, but certainly looking cooler by that point in time. Okay, wide shot here continues to show the latest on Melissa. And as we look at that, you'll note that this is continuing to be a very strong system. We'll bring it in here, I think, a little bit closer to show again. You can see the center of that system, the strong eye that it had yesterday. Did redevelop one overnight before making landfall again in Cuba, and the center part of that storm in the northern part of Cuba at this point and time. The latest on our tropical track here with this update this morning is we're watching the tropics, and Melissa remains a Category 2 hurricane on the 7 a.m. update here. Hi, Leo. Morning. Hey, hold on. We had Penny earlier. Come here, Leo, real quick. I need to see if you're my child. Oh, we have seen improvement. Come on, both of you. We've seen improvement on what we're wearing out there this morning. Yeah, that's right. Oh, we're going to show up. So see, you put the jacket on. You're good now. And Leo's got the long sleeve. You might, I don't know if this is going to be insulated enough for you, but do you have PE outside today? Does he have a jacket? Are you not going to be willing to take another jacket? Something a little heavier. Okay, that's fine. You're probably going to be a little cold. But anyway, at least it's long sleeve, so we've improved over the last hour. We'll see y'all later. Have a good school day. Melissa is a Category 2 storm, as we talked about at the top of this broadcast. Has proven to be a killer. 7 deaths so far, according to NBC News during the overnight period in total with this system. A lot of flooding rainfall, still 15 to 20 more inches, according to the National Hurricane Center, possible out of this. 105-mile-per-hour winds on this Category 2 storm. You can see as we go throughout the day today, still by 1 p.m. expected to be Category 2 in strength, as well as going through Bahamas by the overnight hours, Category 2 in strength. As it works its way closer to Bermuda there, still Category 2, so open water there. There are going to be a lot of rip current issues along the east coast of the United States. I would say beach erosion, rip currents, the main impacts that a lot of those folks are going to be contending with this as it works its way northward. Again, making impact there for locations in and around Bermuda during the late evening part of your Thursday. There are, I believe, hurricane watches, in effect for Bermuda. Expected to be probably a Category 1 storm by then, and then working its way out there deeper into the North Atlantic as we head toward this upcoming weekend by Sunday and into next week. Yeah, all the way up there toward England. One of the funny things about hurricanes is they definitely work their way up there and start impacting folks up around England as they work their way through the North Atlantic. So the hurricane force winds, again, concentrated there in the northern part of Cuba at this time. And you can see, that, of course, that track that those took through the western part of Jamaica. So obviously prayers needed for folks down there. Massive power outage issues related to this likely. In fact, if you give me a moment here, I hadn't thought to do this, but we'll have that coming up, I think, in what will probably, as it typically has been, an extended 7:30 discussion as we look at power outages and things of that nature coming from Jamaica. May be able to get some additional information out of that as well. But we'll leave you this morning as we bring it back here on Mississippi Live Weather Radar on the cloud cover perspective. Again, lots of clouds out there, and it will be a cloudy, dreary, cool day. As we look here on the latest on Mississippi Live Weather Radar, we have most of those showers on the Alabama side, Iuka back toward around Florence and Russellville there, continuing to work their way toward the east. Speed on all these, again, let's get the exact speed on these showers as they continue to move out. They're moving the better part of around 30 miles per hour or so. And again, they remain pretty light. Most of what you see behind this here, just some lighter variety sprinkles. I'm going to leave you in Oxford, which we'll probably hit again in the next hour, because that's one of those spots we kind of see some of those lighter showers out there to get a good kind of perspective on that. Lots of raindrops on our lens there. Again, appreciate the North Mississippi Storm Chasers for pairing up with us here on Mississippi Live Weather. Our next broadcast, of course, come up here at 7:30 this morning. And, of course, tonight at 5, 6, and 10 p.m. live from the Room to Room Weather Center. We hope to see you then on Mississippi Live Weather. From all of us here, apparently, Johnny's kid was also upset that couldn't wear short sleeves, so at least I know I'm not alone on that, and appreciate y'all for watching us.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.